Sketch the graph of f of x equals minus x squared minus 3x plus 5, showing the coordinates of the turning point and the coordinates of any intercepts with the coordinate axes. So, in order to find the turning point, I would like to complete the square. So this is a bit awkward to complete the square on because of the minus at the front. So I'm going to factorise the minus outside with a big set of square brackets. So the x squared will now just be a positive x squared. The minus 3x will now be a plus 3x. And I'm not going to do anything with that 5, so let's just leave that over here for now. We'll worry about the 5 in a minute. Right, so let's complete the square. So keep that minus there. Inside here, I'm going to have a set of curly brackets now. So I'll have x plus 3 over 2, because I have to half the 3, all squared. Take away 9 over 4, because I need to take away the square of that number. That 5 is still over there. I've not done anything with that yet. Now let's just expand the square brackets. So I've got minus of the x plus 3 over 2, all squared. Minus minus, that's going to be a plus 9 over 4 now. Plus that 5. In order to add these two terms together here, I will need a common denominator. So 5 is the same thing as 5 over 1. So I am thinking that if I times this by 4, that will be the same as 20 over 4. And now I've got a common denominator, so I can add those two things together to get 29 over 4. So from this I can see that my turning point will be minus 3 over 2 from here. Remember, you have to flip the sign there. Plus 29 over 4. So this is the x-coordinate of my turning point. This is the y-coordinate of my turning point. Right, I also need to work out the intercepts. Well, the intercept with the y-axis, that's really easy, the y-intercept, because I know that's just when x equals 0. So if I put 0 here and here, I can see that the y-coordinate is 5. The x-intercepts are a little bit more awkward. That's when y equals 0. So if I put 0 here, I get an equation to solve. So this would have to equal 0. And this will not factorise very nicely. If I actually wrote down minus x squared minus 3x plus 5 equals 0, that does not factorise nicely. So, instead, given that I've already completed the square, instead of writing this, I could write this. So, minus x plus 3 over 2 all squared plus 29 over 4 equals 0. And now I'm going to rearrange just to make x the subject. So I'll take this, negative, move it over there so it's positive. So I'll get 29 over 4 equals x plus 3 over 2 all squared. Square root both sides. So if I square root this, I will get root 29. That's not going to simplify very nicely, so we'll leave it like that. The 4 will though. When I square root the 4, I'll get 2. And then just remember, whenever you square root, you get a plus or a minus answer. On the right-hand side, we've still got that x plus 3 over 2. Now if I take the 3 over 2 away from this side over here, so I've got minus 3 over 2 plus or minus root 29 over 2 equals x. So these are my two solutions for my x-intercepts. I can write them a little bit simpler. Notice I've got a common denominator here, so I can actually write this as a single fraction. So I could write this as minus 3 plus root 29 all over 2. So I'll just combine those two together with the plus. The y-coordinate would be 0. Or minus 3 minus root 29 over 2. 0. Anyway, we've got all the information we need now to actually draw our graph. I've run out of space here, so I'll just draw it at the bottom here. I just need to draw a rough sketch. X, Y. Okay, so let's mark these coordinates on. So I know that the y-intercept is 0, 5. So this point here is 5. The turning point is minus 3 over 2, 29 over 4. 29 over 4, that's just over 7. So that would be roughly up here somewhere. So this is the coordinate minus 3 over 2, 29 over 4. And then I've got my two x-intercepts. Minus 3 plus root 29. Well, root 29 is roughly, it's just over 5, because I know that root 25 would be 5. So this is just over 5. So minus 3 plus 5 would be a positive number. Divide by 2, so it's going to be roughly here somewhere. I know it's a positive answer because the numerator is positive there. And this is a negative answer over here because both of those are negative, so that's going to be over here somewhere. And now I can just draw a nice smooth curve through all of those. There we go.